All right, that sucked. I hit the wrong button, obviously. Okay, give me a break. So, drive reduction theory is clearly related to the previous discussion of emotions. And so what we have here is that a need, like a need for food or water, creates a drive, like hunger or thirst, an unpleasant internal state. In the same way that a threat and cognition of danger leads to an unpleasant internal state, fear. And so we're motivated to get rid of that internal drive, that unpleasant state. And so we're motivated to perform drive reducing behaviors. Huh? That's a good one. It's related. Yeah, well, I'll just leave it at that today. All right. Optimum arousal theory is the theory that our biological rhythms cycle through times of arousal. That it's very similar to the need reduction theory. That it's easy to talk about hunger and thirst because you can say, for example, let's say body temperature. Okay, I am hot or cold. A drive would be I'm hot, something like that. And so it's kind of like this. If my body temperature goes above 98.6, which is the normal body temperature, it goes above 98.6. I feel hot. I am motivated to perform behaviors that reduce my body temperature back down to 98.6, something like that. Well, according to optimum arousal theory, all human beings have some optimum level of arousal that they have inside of them, an optimum amount of stimulation in their environment. And so if we feel as though there's not enough action going on, we're going to seek stimulation. We're going to look for things to make, if we feel over-aroused, we're going to look for ways to decrease it and bring it down. Okay? But the idea being, in the same way that there is like a 98.6, we would call it, some kind of a standard point to go from, there's a standard point here as well. So the common motives are, hunger, thirst, sex, safety, but clearly moving up a little bit, the need for control, the need to stick out or fit in depending on which cultural context you're in. And so I'll talk about a couple of more specific social motives moving up here. The 5 core social motives involve belonging, understanding, controlling, enhancing yourself, and trusting. And clearly these 5 core social motives are intimately tied into the social development as proposed by Erik Erikson. Got it. And so we find those 5 core social needs or drives clearly are related to this development. But a very strange form of a social motivation is Schadenfreude. I like it. I'm not sure if it's an emotion or if it's a motivation or what the heck this sucker is. Okay. Well, Schadenfreude is a feeling state. The word comes from German. We don't have a word in English for this, but many languages do. I actually heard an interesting discussion about Schadenfreude on NPR the other day. So a lot of languages have it, we don't. And so Schadenfreude is the emotion you feel. It's like a feeling of joy or pleasure. The pleasure that you feel when you see other people suffer. Okay? It's like, wait, what? I'm not evil. What are you talking about? Yeah, I don't know if any of you are old enough for America's Funniest Home Videos, but when I was a kid, they used to have these America's Funniest Home Videos. It was right after video cameras became popular. And what happened was every week they'd play them, and then, the funniest one would win a prize. Well, every week, without fail, you get football in crotch, okay? And for some reason, the audience would roar with laughter every single time some unsuspecting guy would get a football right up his, right? And it was hilarious. And hey, why not? I'll laugh. That's Schadenfreude. That's why you're laughing. It's joy. Well, Schadenfreude actually has makes a lot of sense, as much as it might feel evil. We find that Schadenfreude is actually well, here's the deal. If you want to win, there's 2 ways to win. You can either A, be the best, or B, your competition can fall down. Got it? So you can either be the best or watch them fail. And so, yeah, you know what? Schadenfreude, that's the only reason I watch the Dallas Cowboys on television, is because I like to watch them fail. All right? So, pretty powerful emotional state. Even if people pretend it's not true, it's totally true. Huh? Altruism. Well, we'll spend a lot more time on altruism later, but altruism is this deliberate pursuit of the interests of others, okay? To help others, right? And I'm going to get into it. Trust me, I'm going to tell you even Mother Teresa was inherently selfish. But that's another controversial topic for another day, okay? So what happens is this altruism, or this unselfish pursuit of the interests of others, can look in a different way as well. Altruistic punishment, okay? Altruistic punishment is using your money or resources to punish people that don't do their fair share. So if you're in a group situation and one person is not doing what they're supposed to do, what you can do is contribute some of your resources to punish them to make them comply with the group. And altruistic punishment is a pretty cool thing, and some societies are willing to spend a lot. More collectivistic societies are willing to spend a whole lot of their own individual resources to punish another. They really are. Another social motive is this notion of face. Face is similar to honor, but not quite. It's again, we don't exactly have it in the United States. It's troublesome. It's social value that others give you if you live up to the standards of what you're supposed to be. It's really hard. Like, face is more easily lost than it is gained. It's lost if you fail. You see, I have some real problems with this. I'm going to be slightly political, but the United States just does not understand when they negotiate with North Korea. In North Korea, the president of North Korea is God in his country. He is God to those people. And now we have a president that comes out and says something like, Little Rocket Man, okay? Not just Rocket Man, but Little Rocket Man, okay? What an insult. Remember, he is a god in his nation. And so what happens is that when people, especially people from Asian nations, feel as though they're losing face, they're willing to perform some pretty radical behaviors. I'm afraid if the president of North Korea is pushed hard enough and his face is challenged enough, that behaviors will ensue in order to save face, okay? And the behaviors would involve launching nuclear weapons, right? I'm not Little Rocket Man, dude. I'm the one that actually shot him, okay? So, wow, I'm scared about that. Another social motive is Keeping Up with the Joneses. Keeping Up with the Joneses was actually a comic strip. And apparently in this comic strip, you never actually met the Joneses. But the Joneses were the neighbors who had everything. And the comic strip was all about the family that was trying to keep up with the Joneses. And so what we find is, because we are social creatures and we make social comparisons, keeping up with the Joneses means failing to have you're culturally inferior. And so when we're motivated to, say, for example, buy an iPhone, right? iPhones, come on, they're stupid. You can't change the battery on an iPhone. How arrogant them bastards are. And yet we want it. We have to have it. And we have to have a little horse logo on our shirt. And we have to, right? This is keeping up with the Joneses. We're motivated to perform behaviors simply so that we can keep up with the times. Keeping up with the Joneses leads to this thing called conspicuous consumption. And conspicuous consumption is a term that describes spending that is not necessary. Okay? Spending that is spent for the sake of showing others that you have spent it. And so what happens is it's a way of displaying wealth and social status. So you take a Mercedes-Benz and you rip off the little hood ornament. Guess what? People aren't jealous anymore because they don't see the hood ornament, all right? It's the hood ornament on the Mercedes-Benz that makes it a status symbol, which is what it makes it important. Okay, so we round out this topic this time, and it's a good one. So you stay tuned, and we'll come back on topic 4 in a little while.